exactly like all of the pop guys.
Yeah.
First of all, it was a good thing because I knew I couldn't.
Jim Keltner has spent more than 5 decades sitting behind his drum kit, working alongside some of the most influential musicians in rock and roll history. His career reads like a catalog of musical legends, having collaborated with artists ranging from John Lennon and Bob Dylan to George Harrison and Eric Clapton. What makes Kellner's perspective particularly valuable is the unique vantage point that drummers have when working with guitarists. The rhythmic connection between drums and guitar creates a special musical relationship that allows drummers to understand guitarists in ways that other musicians might miss. When Kellner finally shared his personal list of favorite guitarists, people in the music industry paid close attention, because this wasn't just another fan expressing opinions. This was someone who had experienced these players from the best possible position, feeling every note and every musical choice they made while creating some of rock's most memorable recordings. The list that Kellner compiled surprised many people. Some names that everyone expected to see were notably absent, while certain unexpected choices made their way onto his rankings. What the list revealed were deeper truths about what makes guitar playing truly exceptional, insights that casual listeners might overlook. Kellner's selections weren't based on technical flash or showmanship, but rather on qualities like musical intelligence, emotional depth, and the ability to serve the song rather than personal ego. Starting at number 10, Kellner chose Mike Campbell, the guitarist best known for his long association with Tom Petty. Campbell never sought the spotlight the way many lead guitarists do. Instead, he spent decades standing beside Petty, creating guitar riffs that became embedded in American rock culture. Kellner worked with Campbell on various recording sessions and discovered something remarkable about his approach. Campbell had an innate understanding of musical space. He never cluttered songs with unnecessary notes or tried to dominate arrangements. Every part he played existed to make the song better. His work on songs like Running Down a Dream demonstrated this perfectly, with that grinding, hypnotic guitar riff locking seamlessly with Kellner's drumming to create a groove that felt organic and alive. According to Kellner, Campbell possessed an exceptional feel for rock and roll simplicity. He constructed his solos like complete narratives, with clear beginnings, developments, and satisfying conclusions. What impressed Kellner most was Campbell's humility despite his enormous contributions to popular music. In recording studios, Campbell listened more than he spoke, approaching sessions without ego. His Rickenbacker guitar was an extension of his musical soul, rather than a tool for showing off technical abilities. At number 9 sits Robbie Robertson, whose guitar work painted sonic pictures of American landscapes and forgotten places. Robertson's recordings with the band created an entirely new sound that blended rock, country, folk, and blues into something unique. Kellner collaborated with Robertson on several projects and witnessed firsthand how Robertson approached guitar as musical storytelling. His guitar lines moved and twisted like old roads through rural America, creating atmosphere and narrative rather than just playing notes. On tracks like The Weight, Robertson demonstrated that guitar playing wasn't about speed or technical flash, but about generating emotion and creating the right mood for each song. Kellner particularly appreciated how Robertson's parts meshed perfectly with the drumming style of Levon Helm. When Kellner himself played drums behind Robertson's guitar, he felt that same intuitive connection. Robertson seemed to anticipate what the rhythm section would do, creating a natural musical telepathy. Kellner praised Robertson's deep understanding of both traditional roots music and modern innovation. Robertson could make his Stratocaster sound like entirely different instruments when songs required it, whether that meant evoking a mandolin, banjo, or steel guitar. His solos were economical, never wasting notes, while his rhythm guitar work created solid foundations that allowed other musicians to build upon naturally. Mick Taylor earned the number 8 position for his transformative impact on the Rolling Stones during his tenure with the band. Taylor brought a fluid, singing quality to his guitar playing that differed significantly from Keith Richards' approach. Kellner worked with Taylor on solo material and various session recordings, discovering a guitarist who combined unlimited technical facility with profound emotional expression. Taylor could make his guitar seem to laugh or cry depending on what the music demanded. During what many consider the Rolling Stones' golden era from 1969 through 1974, Taylor created solos that helped define classic rock. His extended solo on Can't You Hear Me Knocking evolved from gentle blues into an explosive jazz rock exploration. Keltner observed that Taylor approached every recording session with complete professionalism and no ego whatsoever, despite his status as one of rock's premier guitarists. What separated Taylor from other blues rock players was his incorporation of jazz influences. He thought in terms of complex scales and modes that most rock guitarists never explored. Keltner believed Taylor possessed the sweetest tone and most intelligent fingers of any British guitarist. Taylor's departure from the Rolling Stones remains one of rock music's enduring mysteries, leaving many to wonder what might have been had he continued with the band. Ry Cooder lands at number 7 for his archaeological approach to American music. Cooder explored musical traditions like someone excavating buried treasures, bringing forgotten styles and techniques into contemporary contexts. His slide guitar work created sonic landscapes that could transport listeners across time and geography. Keltner and Cooder collaborated extensively and developed a deep musical connection with him. Cooder never approached guitar as a vehicle for personal glory, but rather as a tool for preserving and sharing historical musical stories. His bottleneck slide technique produced an incredible range of tones, from deeply mournful to purely joyful, sometimes within a single song. Cooder researched obscure blues, folk, and world music traditions, dedicating himself to authentic representation rather than rock star cliches. Keltner and Cooder collaborated on numerous film soundtracks, where Cooder's guitar painted emotional landscapes that enhanced the visual storytelling. Keltner felt that Cooder understood the soul of American music more deeply than perhaps anyone alive. One remarkable quality of Cooder's playing was that he never repeated himself exactly. Every performance was spontaneous and fresh, even when playing familiar material. His influence on roots music and Americana continues to resonate, proving that virtuosity doesn't require speed, but rather depth and genuine emotional connection. Neil Young claims the 6th spot with his raw, unpolished guitar approach. Young plays as though wrestling with inner demons, creating solos that are messy, chaotic, and absolutely electrifying. Keltner discovered that what might sound like sloppiness was actually fierce honesty. Young never smoothed his performances into sterile perfection. He captured raw emotion in real time, including all the rough edges and mistakes. Young's guitar sound, particularly through his famous old black Gibson Les Paul, cuts through recordings like a chainsaw. His extended improvisations on songs like Down by the River and Cortez the Killer build intensity through repetition and gradually increasing aggression. Keltner appreciated how Young prioritized the emotional content of each song over displaying technical prowess. What made Young special in Keltner's estimation was his fearlessness. Young constantly took risks, never playing safely or repeating formulas. His feedback-drenched solos influenced grunge music before that genre even existed. Keltner believed Young had the most honest guitar sound in rock and roll, proving that perfect technique mattered less than perfect feeling and absolute conviction in every note played. Freddie King takes the 5th position for his physically aggressive approach to blues guitar. He attacked his instrument with a force that other blues players couldn't match. His thumb and finger-picking style produced powerful, driving sounds that hit listeners with tremendous impact. Keltner worked with King during his 1970s career resurgence and witnessed a true blues master performing at peak ability. His energy behind the guitar was volcanic and overwhelming. His instrumental hits like Hideaway and The Stumble showcased his explosive abilities, while his vocal performances demonstrated that he was a complete blues artist, not just an instrumentalist. Keltner loved locking into King's shuffles and slow blues numbers, where the groove became almost hypnotic. King pushed tempos hard, forcing drummers to work intensely to keep up with his relentless intensity. Keltner considered King to be pure blues power without any pretension or artifice. King influenced countless guitarists, from Eric Clapton to Stevie Ray Vaughan, yet never received the recognition he deserved during his lifetime. His Gibson ES-345 became a weapon in his hands, delivering both stinging lead lines and chunky rhythm work with equal effectiveness.
Duane Allman earns the 4th spot for revolutionizing slide guitar and essentially creating Southern rock single-handedly before his tragic death at just 24 years old. His work with the Allman Brothers Band and as a session musician at Muscle Shoals established new standards for emotional guitar playing. Although Keltner never recorded with Allman before his death in 1971, he studied Allman's approach extensively and cited him as a major influence on how drummers should respond to guitarists. Allman's slide work on Lila with Eric Clapton remains one of rock's most transcendent recorded moments. His tone was thick, vocal, and incredibly expressive. On Allman Brothers' extended compositions like In Memory of Elizabeth Reed, Allman demonstrated how to build improvisations that told complete musical stories. His musical conversations with second guitarist Dickie Betts created a template for dual guitar interplay that countless bands have tried to replicate. Keltner believed that Allman played with more soul in his brief 2-year recording prime than most guitarists achieve in entire lifetimes. Allman's influence spread across rock, blues, and jam band music. His combination of a choruside and bottle for slide work and his Gibson Les Paul produced a signature sound that countless players have attempted to copy without ever quite capturing the magic. George Harrison takes the third position, having been both a close friend and frequent collaborator with Jim Keltner. Their musical partnership spanned decades and produced numerous memorable recordings. Harrison approached guitar playing as a spiritual practice rather than an ego-driven exercise. Every note he played carried intention and deeper meaning. Keltner witnessed Harrison's genius up close during countless recording sessions for Harrison's solo albums and various collaborative projects. Harrison's solo on the Beatles' song Something is considered one of the greatest in the band's catalog, perfectly balancing simplicity with sophistication. His slide guitar work on My Sweet Lord and throughout the All Things Must Pass album created new possibilities for how guitar could be used in rock music. Keltner loved how Harrison used musical space, never cluttering arrangements with unnecessary notes. Harrison consistently served the song rather than trying to display technical abilities. What made Harrison truly special was his melodic sensibility. He composed guitar parts that were instantly memorable and singable, embedding themselves in listeners' memories. Keltner felt that Harrison possessed the purest musical heart of any guitarist he encountered. Harrison's influence came not from blazing speed, but from impeccable taste, perfect timing, and a deep spirituality that infused every performance with something beyond mere technique. Jimi Hendrix claims the second position for completely reimagining what the electric guitar could be. Although Keltner never recorded with Hendrix before his death in 1970, Hendrix's influence loomed over virtually every recording session Keltner participated in afterward. Hendrix expanded the sonic vocabulary of electric guitar beyond anything previously imagined. He used feedback, distortion, and studio effects as deliberate compositional tools rather than accidents to be avoided. Hendrix's revolutionary performances at Monterey and Woodstock demonstrated that guitar could be visual art, theater, and transcendent music simultaneously. Songs like Voodoo Child and Machine Gun showcased technical mastery combined with deep blues feeling and psychedelic experimentation. Hendrix played left-handed on a right-handed Stratocaster strung upside down, creating unique fingering possibilities that contributed to his distinctive sound. His influence fundamentally changed how guitarists approached their instrument, expanding possibilities for everyone who came after him. Finally, at number 1, Jim Keltner chose John Lennon, a selection that surprises many people. Lennon wasn't a flashy lead guitarist or technical wizard. He never played blistering solos or demonstrated jazz fusion capabilities. But Keltner, who worked extensively with Lennon during his solo career, understood something crucial about what makes music truly great. Lennon possessed a complete package that transcended technical ability. His rhythm playing, timing, feel, and songwriting genius all merged together. Keltner played drums on Lennon's Imagine, Mind Games, and numerous other recording sessions. He witnessed how Lennon's acoustic guitar strumming created foundations for timeless songs. Lennon's rhythm guitar work was deceptively sophisticated, incorporating complex chord voicings and subtle timing variations that less experienced listeners might miss. His electric guitar work on Beatles recordings provided the backbone that allowed other musicians to shine. Lennon knew exactly what each song needed and never overplayed his parts. What elevated Lennon above all other guitarists for Keltner was his completeness as a musician. Lennon wrote the songs, sang them, and played guitar parts that served the music perfectly. Keltner believed that Lennon understood music from the inside more deeply than anyone else. Lennon's guitar was an extension of his songwriting genius, not a separate showcase for technical ability. While technical skill certainly matters, Keltner's choice of Lennon for the top spot emphasizes that musical intelligence, taste, and vision matter even more. Jim Keltner's list demonstrates that the greatest guitarists aren't necessarily the fastest or flashiest players. Instead, they're musicians who serve the music with intelligence, genuine feeling, and clear artistic vision. These selections reflect a lifetime of working alongside the best musicians in rock history, offering insights that only someone in Keltner's unique position could provide. His choices challenge conventional thinking about guitar greatness and remind us that true artistry involves much more than technical proficiency.